Welcome back to Giga. In today's episode, every push of the throttle and every lift of the machines will keep you on edge, and maybe even make you laugh. This is where raw mechanical power meets sheer recklessness, and risk is always part of the deal. Remember, this is for entertainment only. Don't try it in real life. Let's get started. The truck hurtles downhill, every second ticking like a countdown to a terrifying rollover.
Dude, there's no place to go. Whoa, there's no place to go. What are you doing? There's no place to go. Oh my god. Oh, that is so crazy.
A full body massage, but a little too rough.
He is crazy.
His truck turned the boulevard into a tense scene. Oh no, that's one drop nobody wanted, and now the whole road's in chaos.
Hey, sono sciapato, meus amigos. Sono sciapato che acontece essas coisas.
Rain makes the road slick, and if the load isn't secured properly, just one shake can spell disaster. Comment number 6 if you also thought that thing was on fire. At first I did too, but nope. It's just a chickpea harvest running at full throttle. Pretty wild, right? Welcome to the backstage of a highway nightmare, where a truck met a tragic end. And here comes the cleanup crew, a giant crane beast and a living legend. The tow truck Sibadak, the Rhino. Look at this. A whole chunk of twisted metal that was once a truck is now dangling in the air, hanging on fragile cables. This is a dance of destruction and salvation, a $1 million gamble that keeps everyone on edge. This accident reminds us that just one moment of carelessness can turn the whole truck into a massive burden. Another shining example of steering wheel holders who don't know what a safe following distance is. When the load is distributed wrong, the front gets too light and the result is a dangerous wheelie. A giant truck in Sabah is hauling what looks like an entire forest of timber, and every stretch of road feels weighed down. It's truly a display of skill, where a driver's courage, experience, and determination are pushed to the limit. When two giants pick the wrong lane, the collision feels like a steel handshake. Comment number 1 if you've ever witnessed this in real life. Right before my eyes was an unbelievable sight. A massive truck had toppled onto its side in the middle of the road, heavy like a fallen iron beast. Then the rescue team stepped in with cables and hydraulic winches, all moving together like a dance of raw power. I held my breath as the cables tightened, and then, in a dramatic moment, the truck slowly lifted itself off the ground, like a steel monster rising again after a crushing fall. Can this 60-ton machine really take on a 125-ton boulder? Let's find out. Welcome to a frozen graveyard of history, where old Soviet-era machines lie forgotten beneath thick snow. And today, a modern yellow beast has arrived, not to destroy, but to rescue a relic from its icy tomb. This wheel loader isn't just pulling, it's battling through frozen ground as hard as concrete, fighting to free its worn-out brother. It's a risky operation. One wrong hit, and the relic could shatter, One slip on the ice, and the rescuer itself could become part of this graveyard.
Oh my Lord, have mercy.
They call it mechanical power, but to me, it looks like pure steel magic. Before our eyes unfolds a spectacular rescue, a massive trailer overturned, lying awkwardly across the road like a fallen beast. And then the hero arrives, the excavator. At first, it doesn't rush to drag the heavy trailer. Instead, it takes the smarter approach. With firm, precise bucket strokes, it removes the load piece by piece, lightening the steel prey. Once the weight is reduced, the excavator swings its bucket, hooks tightly onto the trailer's frame, and begins to pull. Not with wild, uncontrolled jerks, but with slow, steady movements, calculated down to each inch. And then the miracle happens. The multi-ton trailer gradually rises, flipping back onto its wheels like a beast awakening from slumber. This is why you should never tie down a load that exceeds your vehicle's pulling capacity. Comment number 5 if you've ever been stuck on the road like this truck.
Come on. Oh, they didn't pull me out.
The Komatsu D85EX, weighing dozens of tons, slowly moves into the forest. With every drop of its blade, the soil and rocks are torn apart, thrown up in layers. This is not just machinery at work, it's mechanical power conquering nature. The operator stays steady with every move, turning a rugged mountainside into a flat new road. In just a few minutes, The uneven load distribution plus the slippery, muddy road, the perfect recipe for a wheelie. "30 men on one rope, a tractor on the other. Who do you think will win?" The heavier the rain falls, the more the mud sticks like glue, straight out of an action movie. With a roaring echo, the truck seemed to be fighting against the whole mountain. Every meter forward feels like a life or death battle against the ice. What if I told you that a single winch could make a 15-ton dozer look like a toy? This is the Marco winch system, powered by hydraulic force straight from the dozer itself. With the H10B drum delivering up to 55 tons of pulling power, it doesn't just move heavy vehicles, it redefines what heavy even means. Right before my eyes, the beastly LKT-81 is slowly dragging a massive log out of the forest. And honestly, the sight alone gives you goosebumps. What amazes me isn't just the raw power of the LKT-81, but the way it controls every single move. No rushing, no jerking, just steady, rhythmic pulling, like a seasoned athlete who knows exactly what his body's capable of. This crane must be testing the real-life version of the quick drop feature. Lifting without securing the load, a mistake that cost the entire truck. When the load outweighs the trust, the truck can only bow its head to the ground. Watching this scene, you realize that driving a giant steel beast down a slope isn't just about power. It's about finesse, discipline, and absolute respect for the load you're carrying. Who do you think is at fault here? The car in front or the one behind? Drop your answer in the comments below. No escape. The ice and snow have wrapped their grip around those steel legs. A reluctant duo, chained together on the road to the repair shop. Before you is no ordinary truck. This is a mobile factory for hauling bulk materials. A giant built for one purpose, moving an entire small hill from one place to another with maximum efficiency. Take a look at its hydraulic system. With just a single massive piston, it can slowly lift a multi-ton bed to an almost vertical angle, replacing the labor of hundreds of people. The heavy truck needs gradual acceleration, or breakdowns are just a matter of time. It's a good way to help keep overflowing breakages since so many dams have been teaking before anyone thought of ways to help or fix problem good engineering skills.
Just I'm worried if I open that wall too bad, in, it'll take those corner bits in, so.
The heavy hunk of iron thrashes, then slowly rises, like a dragon emerging from the lake. A resurrection from the mud, dirty, heavy, but absolutely mesmerizing. Amid the wild desolation of nature, the Yellow Cat 966H wheel loader stands like a silent hero. With its massive size and incredible power, it doesn't flinch at boulders weighing several tons. Its giant bucket effortlessly rams and pushes aside obstacles no human strength could move, clearing the way bit by bit. Comment number 2 if you've ever seen a fail like this before.
Leute, bremst gar nicht, Mann.
Right person, right machine, right time. The golden formula for getting unstuck. Winter driving takes more than skill. It takes twice the patience. Before me stands a four-wheeled beast from Russia, a Kamaz thundering forward through the brutal winter of Taximo-Wian. The cold cuts to the bone, the wind slices like knives, yet the Kamaz pushes on, breaking ice and forging its own path. Watching this, you realize the true strength of a machine isn't in how it looks, but in its ability to conquer places where most people would give up. When the GPS said, "Go straight," he took it as, "Go straight into the front of the truck."
Все, съездили.
Come up, oh.
The E, conditional diving truck. No snorkel, no life jacket. A complete turnaround, in the most literal sense. Right before my eyes, a massive truck charged into a sea of blinding white snow. And in that moment, it felt like I was watching a steel beast roam the frozen wilderness. Standing there, I realized, not every blizzard can stop a machine in the hands of someone who truly knows it. This intersection isn't a racetrack, but the driver's hitting the gas like he's going for the championship. Comment number 5, if you've ever slipped on a slippery road. This machine truly earns the title, the Dancer with Death. Right before us is one of the most dangerous jobs in the logging industry. It's not only working on a snow-covered slope, it's hauling hundreds of massive logs across treacherous, uneven terrain. It's like trying to resurrect a dinosaur that just collapsed in the middle of the road. The little car is straining like it's in the Olympic finals. It feels like watching a steel beast calmly conquer a challenge set by nature. A perfect harmony of mechanical power and human skill. Towing a vehicle in icy, snowy conditions takes both engine power and a steady hand on the wheel. The battle between steel and ice. Victory goes to human grit and machine power. Welcome to the German construction site, a place renowned for precision engineering. And here's a perfect example: the Caterpillar D6K bulldozer, a versatile powerhouse taking on a demanding dual task. It's not just pushing dirt. This machine is carefully stripping away the topsoil, then powerfully shoving a heavy mix of concrete, all to create an entirely new material mixing point for a massive highway renovation project. A perfect lift, from a crumpled heap of metal to a warrior standing tall. The truck just emerged from the snow like a main character stepping out of stage smoke.
Estamos trabajando en la parte alta de Tierra Blanca, así que terminado mi truco.
On a steep and treacherous mountainside, a heavy bulldozer takes on an incredibly risky task. With staggering power, it pushes massive chunks of earth and rock down into the depths, gradually leveling the slope to carve out a new road. The scene showcases not only the raw strength of the machine, but also the courage and determination of the people driving this relentless battle to conquer nature. When climbing a hill, you've got to keep your gear and throttle steady, or that ton of cargo will pull you right back down.
Колеса в воздухе. Все в воздухе.
Absolutely astonishing. The wheels churning through the mud, inching toward the light, a truly outstanding rescue. Looks like they're doing winter workouts with equipment that weighs a few tons. Just a split second of distraction, and tons of steel turn into a cannonball on the loose.
Самому маленько дай тому колесу спрыгнуть, чтобы заслонить. Настолько вперед пошел. Вот настолько вперед пошел.
That crash sounds chilling, like the whole road just shook. A turn gone wrong, straight into hugging the pavement.
This public interest research report occurred, young did a study that ranks cities in terms of how many residents are car-free, or at least largely car.
The brave truck charged into the stream and then turned into a lawn ornament in the middle of the water. Right before my eyes, the massive bulldozer slowly moved into the stream, water rising over its tracks as if trying to swallow the whole machine. The roar of the engine echoed between the banks, like a steel beast pressing forward, unstoppable. A heavy-duty truck is buried deep in the snow, needing extra pulling power to break free. This isn't artistic drifting. It's the truck's version of dancing on ice. This isn't just a ride, it's a showcase of sheer skill, where the power of the machine and the driver's focus merge into one, turning a dangerous curve into a breathtaking moment of mastery. The train waits for no one, and this car just learned that lesson the hard way. Someone forgot that a steering wheel isn't a video game joystick.
Там человек еще есть? А, скорее всего. Да, блядь, ну кто-то вот есть, наверное, тут, а? Да, да. Конечно, нет, она бы заснула.
The truck, weighing tens of tons, can now do nothing but struggle in the freezing sea of snow. Drop a comment with number 3 if you're confident you could make it across this stream. Take a guess. How many times do you think this logging truck has backed up? A moment that left everyone on the shore gasping and shaking their heads. Every inch of tire grinding up the slope. This is a life or death moment between human strength and machine power. One went down into the mud, and it took two brothers to pull him back up. The excavator friendship has never been this touching. Demolition, piece by piece, done by design instead of letting the house collapse at random. Every strike of the bucket is sharp and precise, like the brush strokes of an artist. a stunt that looks just like street circus. Only the props weigh dozens of tons. We're witnessing an unbelievable rescue. This machine wading deep into the water to haul a heavy object from the seabed, a sight that leaves everyone holding their breath. In the blink of an eye, dozens of tons of steel turned into a sinking mass of iron. Unbelievable. They actually use this method to move the truck more easily on the highway. Right before our eyes, the Cat D8H bulldozer is about to fire up with its pony engine, a classic technology that's rarely seen today. With a load like this, even the slightest mistake can cause the entire operation to fail. A colossal off-road machine running on tracks is slowly plunging into the icy river of Siberia. The freezing water, the fierce current, the jagged surface littered with shards of ice. Everything seems ready to swallow anything that dares to cross, yet this beast keeps forging ahead, each track clawing into the riverbed, driving the steel giant of dozens of tons forward, step by step, through the raging flow. The battle between steel and earth, and this time, the earth wins by a landslide. Would you dare to drive on terrain like this? Drop a comment below.
Это номер 2. Второй день. Вот какие-то мародеры фару сняли. Значит, уходишь. На фару снял. Попал. Вчера сняли.
Before you stands not just an ordinary bulldozer, but the Caterpillar D11T, a steel giant weighing dozens of tons, built to swallow mountains of rock. And now, watch as it moves toward the tiny car in front. With a press of the throttle, the massive tracks roar to life and slowly roll forward. The little car buckles, glass shatters, and thin sheets of metal crumple under the weight. The sheer power on display is nothing short of astonishing. When the farm doesn't call, but the driver still wants to experience plowing the field. Bit by bit, the cable stretched tight, and the heavy excavator slowly inched its way out of the deep pit. This steel cutter is like a metal beast, devouring chunks of scrap in just seconds. The sharp crack, crack, echoes like the sound of steel bones snapping apart. Watching those massive beams break so effortlessly, you can truly see the sheer power it holds. Finally, the steel beast breaks free from the mud, as if it's been dragged out of a childhood trap. From a distance, it looks like a massive warship carving its way forward, unstoppable. Every push of this machine is proof of sheer mechanical power. A 600 horsepower engine roaring, the angled blade dropping with precision, and the operator inside turning this giant block of steel into a sword that slices straight through the mountain of earth. That's true teamwork. The power of machinery working together just created a miracle. They call this a hard landing, not a safe landing. The Caterpillar D9s are paired up into a massive DD9, working in perfect sync with a cat scraper behind them, all roaring together with over 1,750 horsepower. From a distance, it feels like watching a giant army of steel flattening an entire hillside. The engines thunder, dust billows into the air, and tens of tons of earth move as effortlessly as a game of Lego. The tractor plows through the water, looking just like a knight in shining armor charging across the swamp. If those truck fails cracked you up, hit that like button, share it with your crew, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss what's coming next. See you in the next video. It's only getting wilder from here.